Silicon Valley Bank failure, the crisis that is not going to happen in the banking system, and steps that you can take to make sure that your deposits are insured and your securities are kind of insured. So this segment, I want to talk about the SIPC, it's SIPC, Security Investors Protection Corporation. What happens if your broker or your broker-dealer fails? Now, in all of the not systemic things that happened, Schwab kind of got dragged in and Schwab shares started to sink. I think it's because investors were confused about the difference between Schwab Bank and Schwab the brokerage firm. There is a distinction. If your brokerage firm fails or for some reason goes out of business, what happens is SIPC, which is not a regulatory authority, it's a not-for-profit, steps in and immediately transfers your accounts to another broker-dealer. So one example of this happening was during the financial crisis when Bear Stearns, a broker-dealer, was going to fail or go under. In that case, JP Morgan stepped in and bought Bear Stearns. And as soon as they did that, your account at Bear Stearns went to JP Morgan. And I know this because I had some shares at Bear Stearns, and the next thing I knew, I had shares at JP Morgan. So the insurance with SIPC is not the value of the securities that you own in your portfolio. It's if securities or cash go missing. So let's say you went to a very small broker-dealer and all of a sudden your entire account is wiped out. And hopefully it's under $500,000 because that's the SIPC limit. So what you can do then is file a claim that you own these securities, you had this much cash, and with SIPC, it's cash up to $250,000 that are gone, are missing. Not if there's a lag in the transfer of your securities. So this brings me to another point about what you can do is because everything is electronic today and people for the most part don't receive paper copies anymore of their statements, at least once a month, download your statements from all of your brokerage firms and of course your bank. Because if it happened that your brokerage firm failed, you want to be able to access and be able to show everything that you own at the point where the bank failed. I think doing this on a quarterly basis with statements is probably good enough, but just make sure to do it. If for some reason that happened and you could not get into the brokerage firm's website to see your account, you're going to need some evidence or some proof that you have these different accounts, what your account numbers are, and what it is exactly that you own. And all of this information, of course, is available on the SIPC website. So I'm going to put together a list of references and resources that hopefully I'll get posted to my website very shortly. And working with Kate, I think we can come up with a way for you to just go to the website and download those references. Of course, I'd love you to subscribe to my website, but this is something I'd like to just do for free because I think it's important that investors really have not only financial knowledge and financial education to put what's happened into kind of a bigger picture. I mean, that gives you a little bit more confidence that the world isn't falling apart because two banks failed. Banks do fail. So this segment was on SIPC, what to do if your broker-dealer fails, and also you can check to make sure that your broker-dealer on their website says that they're FDIC insured and says that they're SIPC insured, and those are usually the footnotes at the bottom, all the tiny writing. But if you see that on your brokerage site, that gives you some confidence that things are going to either be immediately moved to another broker-dealer, or that your uninsured deposits up to $250,000 per account per bank will also be insured. I'm going to do a short segment 4 in just a minute. I'll be right back.